To former Office of Management and Budget Director Russell Vought, who's been through a few of these situations, and he joins us now. Good to see you, Russ. Thanks for being here. Now, politically, what do you think is going on here? Because the president just even 1 week ago was saying, default, default, default. Now he's saying he doesn't think they're a default. Of course, his approval rate has been going down, so maybe that had something to do with his change in attitude.
Yeah, they have an unsustainable position, and the president has come to that realization. He's put a negotiating team that is capable of getting to a deal, not easily, within the hard left individuals within the White House, but they have that capability. The question is he going to instruct them to get a deal? And they need one. The president is in a situation where he realizes that he has to have a debt limit, and the House shouldn't budge. Hasn't so far. I was pleased to see them take a hard line on Thursday and Friday with regard to the actual spending at play. And so from a political standpoint, the Democrats have had a totally unsustainable position, and that's coming to the realization of the president at this minute.
Well, and again, at first the president was saying not a dime he can cut out of trillions of dollars of extra spending. I mean, that was just an impossible claim, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's one of those things that you say that everyone realized doesn't pass the laugh test when the reality of the waste and the woke and the weaponized bureaucracy that people are seeing in their daily life, whether that's foreign aid that he's probably dispensing as we speak, or whether that is the amount of critical race theory funding that's coming out of the Department of Education. And that's the debate that the House members need and want to have. Yeah. They want to cut spending to deal with inflation, and they can't do that if we just have a debt limit that goes without any real changes.
And one key point that's getting a lot of pushback from Democrats, or at least from the left part of the Democratic side, is requiring work for welfare. And of course, it's been very successful in the past. In '96, President Biden was in favor of it, but he says, look, we got it. We don't have to go back and revisit that. In fact, both the Obama administration and the past 3 years of the Biden administration have been cutting back dramatically on those requirements, those work requirements for welfare, expanding Medicaid, et cetera. So right now, we need it again, don't we?
It's a perfect time right now to reinstitute work requirements, not just in cash welfare and welfare benefits, but Medicaid and housing, food stamps. Those are the places that you want to have a work requirement, and it gets people off of these programs and turns them into a social safety net once again, instead of being a benefit hammock that we have seen in the aftermath of COVID. So it's the perfect time. I'm glad the House put it in their bill, and I'm glad it's on the table for what should be done. But here's the thing, David. The House passed a bill. There's been total amateur hour at the White House in not passing anything and believing that they could have a clean debt limit, which is an ahistorical event. And now their back is against the wall, and they need to accept the only thing that has passed one of the chambers, and that's the House bill.
Yeah, there is a bill outstanding that is on paper. All right, the nuclear option, the so-called nuclear option in which they would use the 14th Amendment, something that was developed to deal with Civil War problems or problems coming out of the Civil War. They claim that there is in this 14th Amendment, and when I say they, it's mostly the left wing of the Democratic Party is doing this. They quote something, the validity of the public debt of the U.S. authorized by law, including debts, shall not be questioned. But here's the whole Section 4 of the 14th Amendment. The validity of the public debt of the United States authorized by law, including debts incurred for payment of pension and bounties, listen to this, for services in suppressing insurrection or rebellion shall not be questioned. That was specifically targeted to problems stemming from the Civil War. It doesn't apply here, does it?
No, I think the key words there is authorized by law. So you gave the context for the amendment, but in terms of authorized by law, if you don't have a debt limit that's increased, it's not authorized by law. And the Democrats understand this. The ones who have considered this in the past, they know there's a reason why they've not done this before, and it's because it doesn't apply. When you hear people talking about 14th Amendment, what it is just basically a Washington way of saying ignore the Constitution, ignore the law, ignore faithfully executing the law. And when you hear people talk about the coin, that's just DC code for printing more money. Right. So again, there is no way out of this situation other than passing the bill that the House has passed, $5 trillion in savings. It's waiting for the president to approve, and it will get through the Senate if he does.
I just want to put up a quote from Janet Yellen, because even Janet Yellen, our Treasury Secretary, admits that it is legally questionable whether or not that, meaning the 14th Amendment, is a viable strategy. So not all Democrats are using that line. Russ Vought, great to see you, sir. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.